4,500 years. That is the time the Great Pyramid has watched the sun rise and fall. But what if the greatest mystery of the ancient world was not about who was buried inside, but the forgotten soul who was utterly, systematically left out? We stand on the Giza Plateau, an alien landscape of colossal stone. Yet our gaze is not to the past, but to a seismic revelation of the present. For centuries, the name Khufu has been synonymous with this mountain of granite and limestone. We accepted the tale of a pharaoh and his tomb, sealed for eternity. But the 2025 International Geoscan project, deploying technology that makes ground-penetrating radar look like a child's toy, just picked up a whisper, an echo that changes everything. Beneath the colossal shadow of Khufu's north face, deep within the bedrock, lies a perfect, anomalous void. Not a grand royal repository, but something smaller, more private. The geometry is too precise to be a natural fissure. It is a chamber built with agonizing purpose, deliberately hidden even from the tomb robbers of antiquity. The coordinates of this newly discovered anomaly, dubbed the Architect's Vault, suggest it was sealed before the first of the pyramid's 2 million-plus stones was placed. The Pharaoh Khufu's own vizier, his master builder Hemiunu, has always been the man behind the myth. He commanded the unparalleled orchestration of a civilization, moving millions of tons of stone to achieve a singularity of human effort. But history, like the desert wind, erases the details. It tells us of his genius, but not his soul. Now the cold, hard data from a $50 million scanning array suggests that Hemiunu's ultimate destiny was not a grand mastaba tomb on the edge of the royal cemetery, but a secret, final resting place, a vault, inside the very foundation of the work that defined his life. Why this desperate hidden burial? Why this final profound severance from the pharaoh he served? The truth, etched in granite and whispered by the ages, reveals a profound, tragic lesson about the intoxicating cost of ultimate creation. The construction of Akhet Khufu, the horizon of Khufu, was not merely an engineering project, it was a cosmic one. The alignment to the cardinal points, the mirror image of Orion's belt. This structure was a spiritual machine designed to launch a god-king soul into the heavens, binding him to the star god Osiris. Khufu commanded this ascent, but Hemiunu willed it into stone. The spiritual lesson of the pyramids is an unwavering faith in the afterlife. The moral reflection we find in the newly discovered chamber is the human cost of that faith. Imagine Hemiunu. For 2 decades, he walked a tightrope between genius and hubris. He was privy to the pharaoh's most sacred knowledge, the dimensions, the mathematical secrets, the exact trajectory of the soul's ascent. He held the blueprint of divinity in his mind, and in the oppressive, absolute power of the Old Kingdom, to know the pharaoh's secrets was to be a permanent, dangerous security risk. The stories of the Quran and the Hadith often speak of the transient nature of worldly power and the pride of the builders, the pharaohs, a spiritual critique of these grand material monuments. But Hemiunu's vault offers a different lens. The tragedy of the essential man, the indispensable artist who becomes a relic before his time. His knowledge, once his greatest asset, became his death sentence. The pharaoh could not allow the blueprint of his celestial vessel, the how and the why, to survive in the mind of a mortal who might one day speak. It wasn't enough to bury him far away. To truly ensure the sacred secret was protected, the architect himself had to be consumed by his own creation. He had to be placed within the protective spiritual field of the Great Pyramid, yet remain utterly, profoundly separate from the pharaoh's glory, the ultimate professional sacrifice. The drilling is complete. The dust settles. We are the first to breach the architect's vault since 2560 BC. The chamber is not grand. It is austere, perfectly rectangular, and hewn directly from the plateau's bedrock. The air within is impossibly still, a testament to the airtight seal. The walls tell the true story. They are covered not in grand funerary texts, but in an exhaustive, almost obsessive record of mathematics, engineering stress points, and astronomical alignments, the true blueprints. And scrawled amongst the geometric perfection, in crude, less formal script, is a repeated sign, the image of a single, deeply mournful human eye. This is Hemiunu's final testament. The sarcophagus is not of granite, but a simple wooden coffer. No gold, no jewels. The only object of significance is a thin copper plate placed on the lid. The text is brief, a single, devastating epitaph. I gave the king the ascent to heaven. I received the stillness of the stone. May my measure of truth stand longer than his measure of glory. The revelation of the 2025 report is this: the pyramids of Giza are not just monuments to a king's power, but also a monument to the architect's supreme, tragic genius. Hemiunu's self-made prison beneath the king's launchpad was his final act of defiance. He ensured his most precious possession, the measure of truth, was buried deeper, more securely than the pharaoh's golden body. The spiritual lesson endures. Absolute power can crush a life, but it can never truly extinguish the genius of the human spirit. The pharaoh wanted eternal glory in the stars. The architect settled for eternal, unshakable truth in the foundation. And in 2025, after 4,500 years of silence, the foundation has finally spoken. The forgotten builder is forgotten no more.